Oceanigod, we blevin stawadon galele jaged kohig. Kohig taldusine jalagia de lo costi. He ajalagi nakine RSU TV G kananu goga. Today is our 12th Cherokee lesson here at RSU TV. My name is Wade Blevins, and this is Cherokee 4. So we've been spending a little time talking a little bit more about grammar and those kinds of things, kind of the wheres and why fors, and discussing what they call classificatory verbs or classifying verbs, because in Cherokee, a lot of common verbs change depending on the shape or the properties that the object of the sentence has. And so we're going to continue with that just a little bit, get a little more practice. We've been working with the verb to have, which of course is a very, very common verb. You use it a lot. So come, okay. Okay, so I've changed the pictures. We've been getting practice with our have verb, and I have changed the pictures. So now in context to the song, so let's read together what this says. I'll give you just a couple seconds to kind of look through it on your own, and then I will read it with you, or we'll read it together. Okay, so this says, Ahani dogwalel kana sula idina gala. Okay, dogwalel, I have. Doust, you have. Okay, kana sula idina gala. Okay, so we're talking about a car, dogwalel. So ahani dogwalel kana sula idina gala. So I have a car. Okay. So how would you say I have a car? And then what do you have? So I would say dogwalel. I'm gonna guess giha doust jaha. Okay. So dogwalel giha. I have a car. Okay. Doust jaha. What do you have? Because of course a car is not alive, right? It's not liquid. It's not long and floppy, right? It's not really long and rigid. So we would just consider it to be something that's solid, right? So we would use agiha. So dogwalel agiha. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, we'll read through this. Wesaot, okay, which is a kitten, right? Wes is a cat. Ot is a baby animal that's usually born in a litter, right? So wesaot, I have. Kana sula idina gala. Wesaot, I have. Dousti, you have. So we're kana sula idina gala. Let's clean our room. So I have a cat. How would we say I have a cat and what do you have? So obviously a cat is a living thing, right? So we would say wesaot agika. I have a kitten, right? Wesaot agika. I have a kitten. Doustichaka. Okay, what do you have that's alive, right? What do you have that's alive? We sa'at agi ka do usti za ka. Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, we'll read through this. He a lemonade. Okay, so what do you think lemonade might be? Hopefully you guessed it's lemonade, right? This is a cognate, which means that it sounds similar in English as it does in Cherokee, or it sounds similar in one language as it does in another language. So, for example, in Mandarin, ke is cola, right? Or soda pop, because ke sounds like cola, right? Those are cognates. So lemonade and lemonade sound very similar. They come from lemonade is the Cherokee version of lemonade. Okay, hi a lemonade kana sula idina gala. Lemonade I have, do usti you have. Okay, so we're talking about liquid here. So I have a liquid. What do you have that's liquid? Okay. I would say, hi a lemonade kana sula idina gala lemonade agine do usti chane. Okay, because we're talking about I have something that's liquid, agine. And you can hear that that H sound, right? Agine, lemonade agine. Next one. Okay. We'll read through this together. It says, John tis yustike sahi'a. Okay, do you know what this is? John tis yustike sahi'a. Hi'a digo we Lord. Hi'a digo we Lord. Okay, something to write with, right? Kana sula idina gala. Let's clean our room. So, digo we Lord, I have, do usti, you have, something long and rigid. Kana suli idina gala. So, hopefully, you would say, digo we Lord, aguya. Do ust jaya. Okay. Aguya. Jaya. Aguya, I have something that's long and not flexible. Right? Do usti jaya. Okay. And the last one. Ni. No wo. Okay. No, I have a shirt, right? Kana sula idina gala. No, I have do usti, you have, okay? Kana sula idina galai. Let's clean our room. So, a shirt, of course, is something that's flexible, right? So we would use the same word that we used for stayid for rope, right? Because it's flexible, it's floppy, right? It's not rigid, okay? And so I have something that's flexible, agina and jana, okay? So ni no wo agina kana sula idina gala. No wo agina do usti jana. Okay, so hopefully you did well. If not, don't worry about it. It's complicated. It's confusing. In English, we only have one word for have, right? But in Cherokee, there are 5 different ways to say have, depending on if it's living or if it's flexible, if it's liquid, if it's a solid, or if it's long and rigid, right? So those are the kind of 5 classifiers. So let's read through these 5 one more time just to get our practice, okay? So, ahan tokwalel kana sula idina gala tokwalel agi ha do usti jaha kana sula idina galai wesa at agi ka kana sula idina gala wesa at agi ka do usti jaha kana sula idina galai Hi'a limanedi kana sula idina gala. Limanedi agine da usticha ne kana sula idina gala. John tisius gesa hi'a digo hwe lord kana sula idina gala. Digo hwe lord agwya do ustitya kana sula idina gala. Ni a nawo agina kana sula idina gala. A nawo agina do ustitya kana sula idina galai. Okay, so what if we were to, let's see, let me think of some other things. So if we were to say, I have a rock, okay, nơi. So I have a rock. Nơi is a rock, right? I have a rock. Nơi agi ha. Nơi agi ha. Okay. So what if we said I have a lizard, okay? Lizard tio hotly. Okay, so I have a lizard would be tio hotly agi ka, right? What if we had a towel, al kayototi, al kayototi. I have a towel, al kayototi agi na. Okay, so hopefully you're getting more and more familiar with it, and it's getting easier and easier for you to figure out which word to use, okay? So what I've done is I've taken the reading that we did, or the piece that we did talking about the things you should have in an emergency, right? And what I've done is changed it to the first person present tense, okay, to the I. So, for example, this first sentence says something unexpected happens. I have these important different things. I have these important different things, okay? So remember in the original version it said something something unexpected happens, these are the things you should have. These are the important things you should have. And now we're saying, you know, something unexpected happens, these are the things that I have, right? So we'll read through it together. Go husti. Nuga ten no hun, nuk ten no hun. Go husti nuk ten no hun, ye nuls tani. Okay, if something bad happens, he judalenerd, jul scared, doggy, huh? Okay, so I have these important things. He judalenerd, jul scared, doggy, huh? And of course, we use that da sound because we have more than one thing, correct? Okay, so let's nole agitne. Okay, then I have water. Okay, ost aditast ulsked. Water that's good to drink is important. Squu gugu tote agiha. Okay. Also, I have a water purifier, right? I have a water filter. Squu gugu stote. Remember, gugu stote can be like a filter or a sieve. Gugu stote agiha. Okay. I have a water filter. Usti osi agiha. Okay. Usti osi agiha. I have a little stove. Galoque aguia ale gatni squu. Ale gatni squu. Okay, galoque aguia, I have a gun. Ale gatni squu, also bullets. Hayel sti aguia, I have a knife. Hayel sti aguia. Dijatlen stoti dagina. Okay, dijatlen stoti. Something that you tie things up with, that you tie it up with. Dijatlen stoti, which is our words for bandage, right? A bandage. Dagina, I have, right? I have bandages. Hilask ditlilos tana digohuel julsked dagina. Okay. Hilas ditlilos tana digohuel julsked. So copies of, I have copies of important papers. Dagina. Unikta judalenerd dagiha. Okay, different kinds of seeds. Unikta judalenerd dagiha. I have different kinds of seeds. Hilas dijas daguya. Okay, I have some flashlights. Right, dijas daguya. Di nawo juganawa dagina. I have warm clothes. Gawoniski agiha. I have a radio. Gal jo tani uherdly. Ja, ja halu giski. Jahalu giski agina. Okay, galjo tani, a tent, uherdly, jahalu giski, that diverts the cold, right? So insulated tent, agina, I have. So I have an insulated tent. Junekaha, dakina, I have blankets. Hilas dikanaliski dakuya. I have some batteries. Ajo tost agiha. Ajo tost agiha. I have a whistle. Ga qua de stoti ale digania doti dakuya. I have a wrench and pliers, right? Dakwate stoti ale digania doti. Talugisti astu istoti aquia. Talugisk astu istoti. A can opener, talugist astu istoti. Can opener, aquia. I have a can opener. Usti yitaka, if you have a baby. Usti alstati dagiha. Okay. I have some baby food. Squoo. Igada juna selodi. Oh, igada juna selodi. Dagina. I have some diapers. Digo huel dagina. I have a notebook. Sku digo huelo daguya. Also, I have a pencil or something to write with, right? Or I have more than one. Daguya, I have some pencils, right? So also I have pencils. Okay, so you see how that all changes. But it's still, hopefully by now, it's starting to make more sense. I know it's really, really difficult and it's really hard. So we also looked at all of the pronoun prefixes for, and there are 4 different kinds, right? And I put them here in this chart to help you. So you can kind of see them all together, right? So here is the pronoun. So, and then there's set B and set A, and there's also set B that starts with a vowel and set A that starts with a vowel. So there's 4 different kinds of beginnings. And so the reason why I did them this way is so that you could kind of see the similarities, okay? So for example, you two are the same whether it's set B or set A, right? It's sti and st, And all y'all, right, is EG and EG for both set B and set A, okay? So, like for I, if we, agi yoshi, I'm hungry, right? Agua duli, I want it. G woni, I'm speaking. Ganelti, I'm trying, right? So then for you, we have yosi, you're hungry, right? Jaduli, he woni, and hanelti, right? You are trying, right? He, she, or it. Yoshi, he's hungry, right? Duli, he wants it. Gawoni, he's speaking. Ganelti, he's trying. Okay? You and I, Gini, Gini Yoshi, we, or you and I, are hungry. Ginaduli, you and I want it. Iniwoni, you and I are speaking. Inalti, you and I are trying. Okay? He and I, or she and I, Ogini Yosi, he and I are hungry. Oginduli, he and I want it. Ostiwoni, he and I are speaking. Ostanelti, he and I are trying. All of us, Igi Yosi, all of us are hungry. Ikaduli, all of us want it. Idiwoni, we're all speaking. Idanelti, we're all trying. All of us but not you. Ogi Yosi, we're all hungry, but not you. Okaduli, we all want it, but not you. Ojiwoni, we're all of us over here speaking. Ojanelti, we're all trying. Okay, sti, you two. Sti yosi, you two hungry. Staduli, you two want it. Stiwoni, you two are speaking. Stanelti, you two are trying. E.g., you all y'all, right? E.g. yosi, all of you are hungry. Ijaduli, all y'all want it. Ijiwoni, you're all speaking. Ijanelti, you're all trying. Okay, they, uni yosi, they're hungry. Unaduli, they all want it. Aniwoni, they're speaking. And ananelti, they're all trying. Okay? So you see how that works, right? And so as long as you kind of know whether it's set A or set B, and you know whether it starts, the root starts with a vowel or not, you can kind of figure it out. Of course, doing that on the fly as you're speaking just takes doing it a lot, you know. And that's why some of these, you know, plurals down here, I don't use them that often because they don't come up as much, right? And so it's harder for me to think about how those, you know, I'm pretty good at I, you, he, she, they, right? But the you and I and all of us and those, you know, are not quite as natural for me because I don't use them that much in conversation. So we have to try to create opportunities for us to use these, right? Okay. So remember back, I believe it was Cherokee 2, we looked at our very first classifying verb, and it meant to go get it or to pick it up off the ground, right? Because we talked about hui negi, go get something flexible. So if it's, you know, clothing on the floor or something like that, you would tell somebody hui negi, go get it, right? Hui negi, okay? And then hui negi, go get something liquid, right? Hui gi, okay? Or he wu tagi, okay? And we're going to talk about that here. Hui gi, go get something solid, or he wu tagi, go get, again, go get something solid, go pick it up. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. Hui ya, go get something that's long and rigid, right? Hui yan, go get something that's alive, okay? Go get the baby. Usti hui yan, okay? So we learned that back in Cherokee 2, and we didn't really touch on it again, and we just learned how to command somebody to go do that. And so what we're going to do in the next few lessons is we're going to look at the entire verb, right? And I will tell you right now, it's very, very confusing. It's very complicated for a lot of reasons. But if you look here at this one, this huiki and hiwutagi, okay? They both mean to go and get something or go pick it up, right? However, at least as near as I can understand in asking people who are far smarter than I am, this hiwutagi is more like the actual act of picking something up, okay? Where like huigi is more like going and getting it, okay? Obtaining it, right? So the hiwutagi is more like the physical act of, you know, picking it up with your hands, and huigi is more like going and getting it. You may not be picking it up with your hands or whatever, but going and getting it. That is at least how it was explained to me, because I found it confusing because I was like, well, you know, there's two words for going and picking something up. And they were like, yeah, but they don't mean exactly the same thing. So, so that's the hypothesis we're going to run with until we're told differently, right? But in speaking with some of the speakers about it, they're like, well, they kind of mean the same thing, but they kind of don't. And in usage, they're used kind of in different contexts, and that also makes it very, very confusing, okay? So maybe by the time we slog our way through all of this, we'll, have hopefully gotten a better handle on it, right? All right. So this is picking something up off the ground, okay? So I've put them in the same format that we've been using. So here are the singular subjects. These are dual first-person subjects. These are plural first-person subjects. These are second-person plurals, and these are third-person plurals, okay? And as we go through this, I'll explain it more. So this is gu, te, and then the a in the present tense is typically left out. So gu, te, I'm picking it up. Okay, gu, te, I'm picking it up. Okay, then the next one, hu, te, you are picking it up. Okay, so based on this, just these first two, can you tell me, is this verb a set A or a set B, and does the root start with a vowel or a consonant? So gu, te, hu, te, and then of course down here gu, te. All right. So if we look back at this, the only one that in the I form starts with a g is the set A vowel, gu, te. So we know that the verb must be a set A verb starting with the vowel. Okay, so gu, te can mean I'm picking it up, or it can mean he or she is picking it up. And I guess you just figure it out from the context of the sentence or the context of the conversation. Okay? Now, a lot of these verbs typically in spoken Cherokee will put a we in front of it. We gu, te. And that we means to go pick it up. Okay, we gu, te would be like I'm going to go. I'm going over there to pick it up. Okay, hu, te. You're going over there to pick it up. We gu, te. He or she is going. Okay. We knew te means you and I are going to go pick it up. Wo stu te or o stu te, that means he and I are going to pick it up, or she and I. I du te means all of us are picking it up. Okay, oju te means all of us are picking it up, but you are not. Stu te, the two of you are picking it up. Iju te, all of y'all are picking it up, and anu te, they are picking it up. Okay. So, and then, like I said, just be aware that a lot of times in spoken Cherokee, there's a W sound in the beginning of it to indicate that the action is happening away from, in the direction away from the speaker. And I like to translate that as going to do something. Not going to do something as in going to do it in the future, but going over there to do it. So we can see it here, right? we see that W sound. He, we, hui, right? We talked about that. Usually the W sound goes in front, except when there's an H sound and then they flip spots and then they mash together. So instead of being we, he, negi, it would be, we switch that and it becomes he, we, and then it gets mashed together and becomes hui. Okay? Hui negi means go get it. Okay? Hui negi, go get it. Huiki, okay? Hutagi, right? Hutagi. Huya, huyana, okay? So, again, you know, so I'm going over there to pick it up. You're going over there to pick it up. He or she's going over there to pick it up. You would add that W sound. A lot of times in, as I said, in spoken Cherokee, that's added, you know, because not very often is it just like right there. So anyway, so here are some sentences. So this says, Ga no ji ha da la su lo de gu te. Okay. And then of course it has a at the end, but we leave it off. So ga no ji ha di la su lo de gu te. Okay. So ga no ji ha is made of leather, right? Di la su lo, shoes. De gu te, he is picking them up. Okay, so he's picking up leather shoes. Okay. If we put a we there, it'd be ga no ji ha di la su lo we de gu te. And that means like he's going and picking them up. He's going and picking up the leather shoes. Okay. Okay, this one says na a ge hya nei gu te amayurte. Okay, na a ge hya nei gu te amayurte. So the girl, na agehya, or the woman, na agehya, nei, rock, gute, picking it up, amayurte, near the water, on the side of the water, on the bank. Okay? So, na agehya, nei, gute, amayurte. So the woman is picking up a rock on the bank. Okay. Uyo zhi o ju te no hul de. Okay. So uyo zhi is trash. Uyo zhi is trash. Oju te means we are. So remember, if we go back through and we look at oj means all of us, but not you, right? Oju te. Okay. Ojute, so we're all picking up trash, nanohulti, alongside the road. Okay, nanohulti, nanohi, the road. This hulti is like beside it, no hulti is like by the side of the road. Okay. U yo zahi o ju te no hulti. So we're all picking up, we're all, except for you, the person that we're speaking to, are picking up trash beside the road. Okay, no hulti. Okay, so to go get something or to pick something up, it's going to get a little bit complicated, but hopefully we'll be able to figure our way through it. But that's about all the time that we have. So hopefully you've learned something new today. You were exposed to some new things. So if it feels overwhelming, don't worry about it. We're going to go over it and over and over it. It's a little bit overwhelming for me as well. And all we can do is just keep practicing, keep working on it, and we will get better at it. So anyway, from all of us here at Cherokee Nation and RSU TV, I just want to say, wadon and don da gohan.